Yeah, okay. Creativity is intelligence having fun with possibilities. And I hope that you are also abide by the same and you follow the same agenda. And if you follow the same agenda, you have come to the right place. So hello and welcome. This is your host Himanshi Kaushik, and I heartily welcome you in today's webinar on creative thinking. And I hope that you all are doing fine, sound, happy, and healthy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about the thinking and how to make it creative, we have our expert here with us. So I shall introduce you to our expert. We have Dr. Shikha, Associate Professor, Mittal School of Business, lovely professional university here with us. She is a student-focused teaching professional with a wealth of hands-on teaching and training. She has over 9 years of broad professional experience in higher education, particularly in academic leadership and administration, students' career planning, and faculty development. She has talent for utilizing teaching methods that reach out to each pupil and helps in enhancing students' management skill. She has several publications and research papers published under her name and has been a part of several guest lectures, seminars, and conferences. So, ma'am, it is a pleasure for us to be here, to be able to listen you in the webinar.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and now I would like you to please take over the screen, and over to you, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Shall
Yeah, I would like to start with a video to give a glimpse that what we are going to talk about today. So if I request you to just play this video for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My mom is the best mom.
Yes.
She teaches me so many things. Lots of stories.
Tied them to the chain on the chariot and poured them.
My mama is my best friend.
Anna, don't forget your umbrella. It's going to rain today.
Thank you, Mama. Mama is not feeling good these days. She can't speak to me anymore. But she still reads me stories.
I shall bite with my white teeth, replied the mouse.
And helps me with my homework. Hi, Mama. How many sides are in the hexagon?
Tara, a hexagon has 6 sides.
She left her voice everywhere I am. Hi, Mama. How do we make halwa?
Now, add some almonds and cashews.
Hi, Mama. Start the washing machine. Hi, Mama. Can I watch my cartoons?
Yes, Tara. Good night, Tara.
I love my Mama very much because she's always there for me, even when she can't.
Tara. I love you, Tara. I love you so much.
All right. So I would like you to stop over here, Himanshi ma'am. Can you just stop it over here? I would like to see go with that slide, that last shot over that YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. So I would like to start with this note. If you like, you people have just seen this video. I'm so sorry, it's just cut. All right. You people have just seen this small clipping of an video over here. This is one of the creative thing which Samsung team has done. Now look at the relationship between a mother and a girl over there and a child over there, right? And if you just look at that relation, to imbibe that relation, to have that relation for the whole life, the Samsung Bixby team, they have decided to help those people, those who are having a problem in which they can't speak for their whole life. So the voice has been given, and everywhere that child, that girl can hear a voice. I mean, wherever she asks a question, artificial intelligence voice assistant gives a reply. So she feels like very personalized answers are coming from her mother itself, right? Because she can't speak, but all the emotions, all the voices are coming into her voice, which actually has build a connection. And that's how the creative thinking starts. There was a thinking in the mind of a person who has created this Samsung, uh, you know, Bixby team has this thing, and there they started that there's a connection which is required. So in order to come out of the box, in order to think big, in order to think creatively, you have to identify a gap, an actual gap where if you are actually being on, you'll be able to get the things done. Fine. So thank you for this video, ma'am. I would like to go with my PPT now.
Sure. Sure.
I hope my PPT is visible.
Not
Is it?
yet, ma'am.
Not yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you please tell me, is it visible now?
Yes, it is, ma'am. It is.
All right, fine. So let me begin over here. That's what we are going to talk about, creative thinking today. So I am Dr. Shikha Goel. A very brief introduction has already been given by Himanshi. Thank you for that. And I'll begin with this note over here. This was the video which I have just shared with you. So I would like that, when you have to introduce yourself creatively, how would you introduce yourself creatively? If somebody has to get a chance to introduce yourself creatively, if I give you a chance over here to introduce yourself creatively, will you be able to do and introduce yourself creatively? Yes, we can. We can actually introduce ourselves very creatively. This is the first thing with which, as a student, whenever we enter into a class, our teacher asks, could you please introduce yourself? Whenever we enter into an interview room, an interviewer asks, could you please introduce yourself? Right? And this is a very common question which is being asked by many people. So in that case, just imagine if same question comes to every student, from a teacher, from an interviewer, or if you're meeting somebody and somebody says that just introduce yourself. And if you have a different thought process, if you have a very different kind of perspective in your mind to give an introduction about yourself, don't you think that it will create an image in the mind of a person? Don't you think that you'll be feeling like, if somebody is introducing himself or herself in a way which is quite different from the other, that will be having an impact onto your mind, isn't it? It's a fact. If any case, if you feel like that, you would like to keep on asking anything into this during the session, you can just put the questions or raise your hand into the chat into this session. So as I asked you, introduce yourself creatively. Can I expect some of the people are writing into the chat box about introducing themselves with a creative one word, your name and your one word? Can I get this from your side? For example, I'm just putting up my name and one word which I would like to creatively add with my word so that you remember me for at least a long time, right? So if I just put up my name over here and I'm saying it, for example, I'm saying I'm Shikha, right? I'm Dr. Shikha Goel, and I'm writing Shikha, and I'm saying that I am sweet till the point, I'm sweet till the point someone is not hurting me, right? So that's the way I would like to introduce myself. So a very clear message has been given to the person, to the other people, but very differently. That I am available, I'm sweet till the point, till the time you're not hurting me, I'm very sweet to you. But if you're gonna hurt me, then I am not that the way I'm looking. I'm appearing to you, right? So if I would like to get some of the answers from your side, I mean, Can I get some of the answers in the chat box from your side in which you would like to introduce yourself? Okay, won't mind if it becomes a story for me. Anyone else would like to answer? Would love to get the answer so that, that kind of picture remains in my mind for the whole of your life, that somebody has introduced me creatively. So waiting for the messages from your side, if I can get any one or two messages on the chat box. So waiting for your answers. That's how you need to think creatively. See, creativity is not a magic band. I can't make like this a magic band and it is done. We are very creative. Trust me. We have to just open up that bag which is there in us. And whenever you open the zip of that bag, the creative thoughts, the creative mind start working. So that's what I am here to. I need to knock you to just come up and think creatively, right? So we'd like to get an answer from you. In order to get that, how would you introduce yourself creatively, right? So I hope I'll be able to get some of the messages. Till that point of time, I want to continue for this, right? I would like to go ahead with my different slides as well. So to begin with, imagine that you own the company, right? You have one company. You can see over here in the picture as well. There's a company, the people are interacting and working, and they are working with a very happy mood. They are discussing also. They have their laptops, and that's a small company in which you are working. Similarly, you can also imagine that you own some company. So what is the one thing that you would like to do creatively as a leader? If suppose this is your company, dear, I'm sure that whenever we have a company, we always get a company to earn the profits, correct? So you always want your different people, different employees, those who are working into the organization, to think out of the box, to think creatively, to think like they are a very creative leader, to come up with the initiatives, correct? So I would like you to imagine that you are an owner of a company. So what is the one thing that you would like to creatively do as a leader of your organization? What you want to do as an initiator, as a leader into your company? So can I get can I get the answers for this onto this chat box? Is it possible? Can I get that from your side? Would like to get an answers from you, dear. Some of the answers I'm expecting, so that I can also understand that whatever I'm conveying to you, are you able to get it or not in the way I want? So can I get the side here to start with? I am not able to, I'm so sorry, Himanshi, but I'm not able to see the chat box over here. Okay, all right, I got it. Thank you. Thank you. But would like to have the answers from the participants as well, so that they should understand that what I'm talking about is making sense for them. So I'm waiting for them to reply back. Sometimes to think creatively as a leader. So is there any way that they can speak up also? Is there any way for them?
Yes, ma'am. For that, they just need to raise their hand.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you raise your hand, we'll allow them to speak to you.
Then you'll allow them to speak. Yeah. All right. Great. Thank you. Right. So since you're having an option also to think creatively and then speak also over here. So if you have any points into your mind and you'd like to speak up, it's a chance for you to speak up over here, right?
Yeah.
So we'd like to get somebody thinking creatively as a leader and owner of the company. See, that's a chance. That's a chance. You are becoming an owner of a company, and then you can speak up, isn't it? All right, suppose if I am having a company, I'll just come up with my own company over here. Just imagine that I am having a company, right? So if you just ask me that what creatively I would like to do as a leader, so the most creative thing which I would like to come up with is that I want to have such a place, such a environment, such a working culture where the people are doing their tasks, but they're sitting very, very comfortably. The most of the things which we do in our organizations, the most time which we spend in our organization, the lesser time which we spend with our family. So I would like to make my organization as a first home for them. They should not consider that as a second home. The first home is their organization. So the sitting arrangements, the working environment, the culture of the organization, I would like to make it as comfortable as they can feel, right? And I've seen that it has a very huge impact onto the working pattern of the employees as well. So I have to think creatively. So I have seen one chat also being there, knowing employees, communicating with them by some games. So wonderful, wonderful. Harsh Vardhan, absolutely right. As a leader, you need to know your employees. You need to communicate with them. And gamification, as you have said, by some games, the gamification is a need of an hour. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Good. So you have to think creatively as a leader. You have to come up with the different initiatives if you are owning a company, right? And all the initiatives, if it is a creative, if it is different from the others, only then it is going to be an attractive point for your company. So you as a leader will be a brand ambassador for your company. And if you are giving them a direction in a very creative way, the rest will definitely going to follow you. So creativity starts with the leader itself. All right, great, fine. So to move forward with this, if I go look at this picture and trust me, give me a title to this picture. Be creative. Let us get an answer from you. What title would you give to this picture? This is a very common, I mean, there are horses. If we generally go onto the roads, this is a very common picture which we get, and it can be anything, horse, it can be cows, but this is a beautiful picture. So can you please give me the title to this picture? Very creative title. Would like to get in the chat box from you people.
Can I?
Yeah, please, please.
Okay, they're looking for them, but I'm looking for you.
Great, great. All right. Okay, no racism. Okay. All right. Fine. Anyone else? Anyone else? See, they have blocked your space. They are very creative. They have blocked your space in such a way that they're not allowing you to go. Right? So they want you to focus upon them. So if I have to give an answer, if I have to give the name, title to this picture, the many thoughts, I have seen this picture not the first time. I'm able to see this picture for many times, but every time, whenever I saw this picture, a different title comes into my mind, right? One of the title which is there, which I generally give, is that stand out from the crowd. Stand out from the crowd. Right? But when I'm now looking at this picture, I'm able to see that don't stare at me. Huh? Don't stare at me. I won't move. Don't stare at me. All right. So, one thing, what I want to convey with this is, what is the takeaway from this small picture is that one thing has different phases in our life. One thing can be seen from a different ways. This is us who has to decide that what is going to be the best fit and what is going to be a creative win, right? And how I can use this in a much more creative way to get more benefits out of it. Because if we are going to talk about in today's era, if I just take an example over here, many students are studying the same course, correct? Now, you have to prove yourself that how you are different from the others. So in order to bring that uniqueness, that USP in yours, you have to think creatively, right? You have to think different from the others. I generally listen and I generally say that think out of the box. But one of my student has given me a very wonderful answer when I was in one session. That student says that, ma'am, why think out of the box? Why can't I make my own box? So that one creative answer has given me another string to go ahead. Of course, we always say that, we always listen. Everybody says that think out of the box, only then you'll be creative. Think out of the box, only then you'll be moving ahead. And that person has said that, why thinking out of the box? I'll make my own box. And a very wonderful answer when I got, I really feel very, good to see and hear that, okay, fine, at least one person I'm able to motivate to think creatively. So yeah, somebody has written more perceptions, more ideas. Great, great. Of course, there are more perceptions and more ideas. Very nice. All right. So what I want to convey over here, that please think everything from different perspectives. A single thing looks from different ways. You will come with one of the creative ideas to get ahead and to solve your problems even in your life. Right? One more picture for you. What is coming in your mind now here? What is coming in your mind? I am showing you something and I'm displaying you something. So what is coming in your mind now? What can I get the response from you? What is coming in your mind? At one side, I'm showing you. Okay, you would like to say something, Imanshi?
I think, ma'am, it's a very common picture. It's like it's me who I see in the mirror, not you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how I feel. I see myself in the mirror. And that's me, not what you decide to be.
Definitely, definitely. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. But if I have to think and answer this very creative, believe in yourself to make more miracles, correct? So you have to believe in yourself. You have to think that I can do this thing. You know, what is the basic thing which I generally get an answer from the people? Will you please tell me how to be creative? And then my answer is, see, I can't tell you how to be creative. You yourself is actually a very creative person. It's just one layer which is there onto you. I am just there to, just remove that layer so that you start thinking and believing in yourself. You start finding it your own self from yours. That's it. So we all are very creative. We all have a thought process in which we can very much think creatively. It's us who has to see us. Correct? I can see there's a cat, but a picture says that I'm a lion. If I'm start behaving in that way, none of, trust me, no one can actually stop me for getting ahead. Similarly, if you start thinking that, I can do it, I have different thought process, I have creative thoughts in me, I can come up with the different answers. If you are stuck, suppose if you're running a business and somewhere it's a very common thing that we stuck somewhere in our business. And there are two kind of people. One person says that I quit. Other person says that, no, I don't quit. Correct? So those who say I quit, they don't trust onto them. They don't think into a way that they can come up with the creative things. Those who says that, no, I'm not gonna quit. Might be this is not going to work well. Fine, I'll go with the other one. If you just see the entrepreneurs, those who have raised themselves as a bigger entrepreneurs, starting with the small startups, right? They always say that it's not the first one which we started. It's not the first one. We did one, we learned from the failures of the first, we did second, we learned from the failures and the past, and then we again stood up as a team, we again things started creatively and then come up, right? If you have ever heard about Sugar Cosmetics, just read about the story of that lady. That story says itself that it's not the first business in which she has started. The sugar cosmetics, the sugar word, how creatively she came up with that sugar word. When I was listening to her interview and somebody asked into that interview that why you have chosen this word, she said that it's a creative mind of my team. We all were sitting together. We all were talking about health, nutrition. We all were discussing that let's start this kind of business in which, the nutrition part is going to be worked upon. There, the 2-3 people, they started discussing about let's have the title, which is health and nutrition, but let's enter into some kind of where the stop button is not there. And you are very well known about this, that the females can never stop themselves from buying cosmetics. Correct? So they have connected these two things together. They have said that sugar, and it's her vision actually. She says that my brand name can suit anywhere. My brand name will be connected with any kind of business I go ahead. If I would like to enter into a nutrition at this point of time, health nutrition, nobody can stop me because again, I'm talking about the same sugar, right? So that's how you have to think creatively. And it's not alone we can think creatively. I have to sit with a team, right? Yes, she has left 1 crore offer. Yeah, absolutely right. Why? Because she doesn't want to go onto the same track where everyone. That's what I said, that many students are going to get, through with the degrees at this point of time. You have to decide your USP, that how you will be different from the others. And for that, you have to think. You have to use your mind creatively. And we all are full of creativity. We all are full of creativity. It's just trust on yourself. Am I audible? Am I audible?
You're audible, ma'am. You're audible.
And the screen, I believe. All right. Okay. Fine. So what I was saying over here, it's a 6.
Ma'am, screen is not visible, ma'am. Screen is not
Screen
visible.
is not visible.
Yep.
All right. Give me 1 second. I think, Himanshi, I do not have even rights for the same.
Okay, I think no, ma'am. You are having the right, ma'am.
Okay, just give me a few seconds. I'm trying to find out that.
And meanwhile, attendees, you can post in your queries, your questions in chat box or Q&A box, or you just simply raise your hand, and then we can have a little talk session with our expert here about the creative thinking and how you can actually use creative thinking in different fields of work that you do and maybe that you aspire to do.
Would love to listen,
Yeah.
but I'm not getting just 1 minute. I'm not getting the options for that. All right, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope it's visible now.
Yes. Okay. It is visible. It is visible.
All right. All right. So I was about to start about the story over here, 6 thinking hats, We all have these 6 hats in us. We need to understand which color suits us the best. So if I just show you what those different 6 thinking hats, what these hats are all about. There's a white hat, there's a red hat, there's a black hat, there's a yellow hat, there's a green hat, and there's a blue hat, right? And we all are wearing these hats at least once in a one day. So if I talk about the white hat, it ensures this thing that everyone clearly, understand and stand the problem. They generally come up and clearly come up with the, clarity in a problem. So this is the first step when you have to start thinking creatively. You have to have a white hat. If you don't understand the problem clearly, you won't be able to come to the solution from where the thinking starts. Now, some of us are having red hat. Now, what is this red hat is? Shares the feelings and emotions about the problem to understand different opinions. If I have to think creatively, the creative thing doesn't come first. I have to sit into a board of meetings. I have to sit onto a round table. There has to be a brainstorming session. There'll be different options will be coming in front of me. I have to control and I have to share my feelings and emotions to understand the different opinions which the others are saying. Only then, so just imagine that you are an owner of a company. I started with the same notion that you own a company and you have to think creatively as a leader. Now you are an owner of a company and your team members are giving their viewpoints to you. If you are not going to wear a red hat, do you really believe that they will think creatively and give you the different options? Not possible. So I should have the red hat on me, right? So then after that, moving ahead, black hat. Now, what is this black hat? If we keep on saying, yeah, very good, you have given an option, absolutely right. If you don't criticize the things, if you're not coming up with a critical viewpoint, I'm going to be loser at the end. As the coin has two faces, similarly, every aspect has two faces. So if the goody things are coming, fine, I have to think creatively, but from a critical point of view as well. So the different opinions which are coming from the red hat, I have to think critically while wearing black hat. So focus on the potential negative outcomes and the difficulties that can come up in your way when you're going to choose with the idea, when you're going to work with that idea. So I start that you have to understand a problem. You have to come up with the different options, different opinions. Then you have to critically think about the different options and opinions, and then land upon yellow hat. Now, what is the yellow hat? Yellow hat says that focus on the possible solutions that help the designers to beat these difficulties. Now, I can't say that it's very critical. I can't do it. You have to have a yellow hat to find out the solutions. You have to think in a creative way. You have to design the things in a way that the problems just get converted into a solutions. So help the designers to beat these difficulties and design something very innovative. And for that, you have to have a green hat now. Create the solutions to the problem. Be creative while making solutions to the problem. And ultimately, we all should have a blue hat in which we have to focus on controlling the process, because sometimes when we keep on finding out the creative solutions, we generally don't focus onto the loopholes, right? And if you just analyze your life, on a single day, we might have different hats onto our head because the problems is a part of our life. We can't run away from that. So in order to get the solutions out of it, one can find out a very normal solution. Second person will try to find out the different options, critically analyze the different options, coming up with the solutions of the different critical viewpoints which has been given by the other, thinking in a creative way to come up with the answer, and then go ahead with the process. So it's us who has to decide that as and when, which kind of hat I would like to wear. But to reach to the creative answers, to creative solutions, to think creatively, you have to go with all the hats. Only then the answer, the solution is going to be the best for you, right? Okay, one situation is there in front of you. You all must have taken a ride at Uber, isn't it? It's a part of our life now. Ola, Uber, part of our life. So let's say now you're not going to be a customer, you are going to be an employee of Uber. You work at Uber. Now you need to think of ways to innovate. What things can be done? Would like to get an answer from you. If anyone would like to just speak up, raise the hand. If you would like to answer chat box. But just imagine that you are working in Uber company and Uber company is saying you innovate something new for me. I don't want to be only ride master. Innovate something new for me. What can be done? Can you just give a thought? If you have seen different companies, in which they are talking about, suppose if I say, whenever Zomato goes with the packaging now, the packaging has been done so creatively, right? There's a timing which they have connected with their Zomato person. And it also shows, suppose if I've ordered, it also shows into that, there's an app, it also shows into that app that where the traffic is and where my person has been stuck. Why they have done it? Because, whenever we order, we can't wait. We order when we are hungry. And when we are hungry, the time doesn't pass. We feel like, why it is not coming? And when it reaches to your place, sometimes you just shout at that person, why you are late? You ordered an hour ago. Now, when you are actually tracking your person, that this person has reached here, but there's a jam. And because of this reason, this person is stuck. So as and when that person reaches at your place, you're not going to shout. You're going to say, thank you for delivering. I know that there was lots of rush over there, but still you managed it. Thank you so much. So, this is the initiative which has been taken by the company in order to make their employee also motivated that they are the person, those who are parceling the happiness to the other people, right? When you get your food, which you really want to enjoy, it is in your hand, the happiness smile should be there, not the, anger should be there under the face of a person. So that's the beauty of the creativity which the people have done. Similarly, I want to get an answer that if you are going to Uber, if you're working in Uber, what extra thing, what innovative you can do?
I think we can make it mandatory that an Uber driver can be using or playing the song that our passenger wants. I think that might be creative.
All right. Okay. Anyone else, please? Great. Anyone else? Okay, let me show you this. Let me show you. How could you combine? Okay, I have got one response also. I would like to see free chocolates. But that's not creative, isn't it? That's very common. I mean, we can have it whenever the kid is there, whenever somebody is there into my, car drive, Uber. It's surely possible for that. So, okay, let me show you. What do you feel? Let me ask you. Suppose if you are taking an Uber, you had a very hectic work schedule for a day, correct? And after that, you just booked the Uber. Now, Uber is there to pick up you once you have completed your whole day work. Now you have to come back and you are very hungry. Would you say, Uber person, please stop somewhere? I would like to buy something. I'm very hungry. Can we say them? They won't stop. Can we say them?
No.
No, not possible. They won't
Yeah.
stop. Can I combine this service with my Uber?
Yeah. That would be, I think, a competition for Zomato now, because I mean, you have given the idea though.
I can. I am hungry. I have to go back to my home as well. I know that my Uber person will not stop. Even it's not safe for me to go down at night and stop there and get it done, buy something. So why not to connect? Just imagine. Can I combine this experience? Isn't it? Riders need food when they're coming home in Uber late at night. It's very natural. It's a very common. It's a gap. It's a huge gap. Somebody has to think creatively, right? So this might lead you to think of an experience where Uber riders can order pizza and a car at the same time. And the driver arrives with a hot pizza in the car and the rider can eat it on the way home and reaching back. So that's how we need to think creatively. This is what I would like to tell you. And their creative thoughts are present very near to us. Very, very near to us. We just need to find out that where it is and where I have to click upon. Right? What do you say? Anyone? Any thoughts? Do you
No,
like this?
I think, ma'am, you should not charge from Uber if they follow the same scheme. I mean, you've given the idea though. This
Right.
is
All right.
so brilliant.
This is the problem which we might face sometimes. And when the problem comes, the solution automatically comes in the mind that, okay, fine, this also can be done. Let's do it. Right. So that's how, okay, I got a response. I would like to see that response over here. Must and should as a compensation. Okay, great. All right. Fine. So you liked it now? That's what I'm saying, that whenever we come up with some creative ideas, it is definitely going to be liked if it is going to resolve a problem, So creativity doesn't say that you come up with any weird solutions for the problems. The creativity, second phase of the creativity is that whenever the problem comes, you have to analyze it. If you just remember, I started with the hats over there, and I say that the first hat says that find out a problem, right? Second hat says that come up with the solutions, ideas. Third one says that do it critically, analyze it critically. Then fourth says that let's design it, let's start it. And if something goes wrong, there is a last hat who says that let's have me a controlling process. So that's how we should go ahead with our thinking process. All right. So let me go ahead. Okay, let's do. How many of you watch Shark Tank? I think most of you, isn't it? It's a very famous, those who really want to think creative out of a box, making their own boxes, they do like all these things, correct? So I would like to go with this over here. Okay, yeah. Fine. So in order to go with this activity of a Shark Tank, so sorry, let's just get stuck. Yeah. Okay, create an imaginary product. I've just shown you the thing over here. So I would like to create an imaginary product and develop a pitch for it. I would like to give few seconds for it to you. Let me get an answer from you. Let me get an answer from your side. Imaginary product, develop a pitch for it, and your pitch should have all these three things: brand name, brand slogan, marketing plan. I hope it takes time, isn't it? It takes time, but I would like to do it within few minutes. I have given you within few seconds. Let's say within few minutes. I would like to have one brand name, brand slogan, and marketing plan. So imaginary product. Just think that what is in the big need at this point of time to you. Think in that perspective.
I mean, if it is really imaginative, I mean,
Yeah.
working on a hypothesis, we can have a face mask, like a face mask basically that helps, I mean, of course, from all the dust. I mean, that covers us from all the dust, but also helps us, that SPF that we get from the creams, right? So we can, I mean,
Sunscreens.
we can amalgamate those things and we can make a face mask which has this SPF thing and also helps us to prevent from the dust. And we can use it like very normally how we use normal face mask. And we can name it, I mean, brand name can be spoof face.
Wow. Okay. Great. Great. And see, absolutely right. Very nice. I mean, very appreciable. Anyone else? I mean, I'm just waiting on the chat box. At this point of time, when I'm sitting over here, one thing comes into my mind. I have to click onto the chat box again. I have to click onto the screen to check that whether somebody has texted or not. So I would like to come up with one imaginary product in which it's not exactly a product, but I want to come in such kind of app like Zoom is there, in which everything is visible onto the side, onto the left side. It's there, but I have to click. I do not need to click. Whatever is coming, it's coming there naturally, automatically. Okay, Himanshi, the example which you have given, somebody wants you to repeat that example over here.
I mean, when we use the face mask, right, we use it for the dust and all other things. I mean, from the corona, of course. And we use different creams, right, to protect us from the UV, wherein all they have is SPF, this, that, right? So, I mean, it is a hypothesis, right? Like we can amalgamate both things and we can have a face mask and has all those qualities, hence we can be safe from the dust and SPF thing and all that. I mean, we do not need to use those creams to our face. So that is what I mean. This is again a hypothesis. It is very impossible to do it Beauty with care, yeah. That would be a slogan. That would be a slogan.
No, that's not impossible. Imagine, trust me. You know, the thoughts, if the thoughts are coming, the solutions are definitely going to be there. It's definitely going to be there. Right? It's a fact
Ma'am,
that
if I become an entrepreneur, I'd be launching this product, and I would definitely remember you, that you were the one who has implanted this thing in us. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, you know, we all can have a different brand. That's the reason that, you know, that every brand has different logos. Every brand has different slogans. That's coming from the creative mind. Trust me, those who are creative thinkers, they are the highest pay masters in an organization. And for becoming the good creative thinkers, you have to have some professional, you know, I'm not saying that any one degree, it can be any degree, but there you have to think creatively. It can be your BTech, it can be BBA, it can be MBA, it can be any program, any bachelor's, master's. Creativity is into us. It's us how to nurture it. Right. And when, as and when you get into some kinds of professional courses, they make you to think into that way. And when your thought process started working to that direction, it automatically get generated. You know, the patrolling is starting going on into your mind. That dust is just going out of that bag on which you have just logged it. So it start unlocking, and that's how we can work a lot onto us. So that's why I said that this creative thinking is not a magic band. I cannot do it in this way. It's us who has to practice it, who has to work onto it. Right? All right. So let me move ahead with this. Okay, a very beautiful story, which I really like a lot. And I generally share it with my, the people. So I'll start with the story. I'll just show you a little bit of it over here. There was a beautiful kingdom, all right? And which was ruled by a prince who took over the kingdom after his father's death. Now, what happened after a few months of ruling, things started testing him. Likewise, the drought caused losses, right? And they killed many animals, birds, and in fact, the precious plants in the forest. And then, since, the things have started going worse, it was followed by an unknown disease which killed many people. Correct? Into that kingdom. You can very well imagine a new king is there. He has taken that kingdom because his father is no more. It means there's no experience which has been shared by the father because he was too young. And then all of a sudden, the things are coming into a very worse situation. Correct? After a few months, what happened? Things started slowly improving before they could recover completely. An enemy king took over the kingdom, killing many people and imprisoned some of them. The young king somehow managed to escape and planned to go and meet his childhood friend who is into another kingdom, who was a king of a neighboring kingdom, but he was a friend. So on his way, he was thinking about how all these things could have happened to him. He was born and bred to be a king of one of the most powerful and richest kingdom. And but now what has happened? Lost everything. He believed that he had bad luck because nothing has happened to his father or any other king he knew. When the young king recalled his friends, reached his friend's house, that palace, then the guards didn't allow him because he came after escaping from that kingdom where the enemy was already there. He was not in that condition that he looks like a king. The guard of that kingdom doesn't allow him to enter inside because of his dirty looks, clothes, and he tried many times and all failed. Then what he did? He took a job so that he can buy some clothes. After some days with new clothes, he was allowed to meet his friend. So he has to think. He can't sit only with a problem. That's the first thing I would like to tell you over here. He can't sit with a problem. He has to think about the solution of a problem. The solution can be anything. So might be that comes into solution, right? So that will be allowed to meet his friend. Now what there, to his king friend, when he was able to meet, he explained everything that happened to him. And after hearing the story of his friend, that king allowed him and give him few of the sheep, ordered to give him few of the sheep to take care. They take care of these sheep. All right. Now the young king was very surprised, as he was not expecting this. I'm so sorry, as he was not expecting this thing, because he thought that he's a friend of mine, and he also knows that I was a king into the kingdom, and that was a very powerful kingdom. And now what he's saying, he was expecting much more than this. He doesn't want to be a shepherd, but he has nothing else. So he took his friend's offer because he can't go back. Now, after a few days, while he was grazing his herd, a group of wolves attacked his herd and killed each one of them. While the wolves were attacking, the king ran away from that place. He ran away. Does he face the problem? Does he face the situation well over here? He doesn't. Does he try to find the solution of a problem? He doesn't. And what did he expect from his friend to be done? That he allows himself to be a king. So if you people think that you will get everything with a golden spoon, it's not possible. We have to work for us. We have to brush up our skills. If you really want to come up with the creative thoughts, we have to brush up ourselves. We have to work on us. That's what I said, that superpower. I've shown you over there as well. Isn't it? He needs hats. Absolutely right, Harshvardhan. He needs hats. True. Right? Now, what happened next? Then he again went to his friend, that king, and asked for help. This time what he did, he gave 50 sheep. But once again, he failed to protect his herd from the wolves. And then third time, he was again given, but just 25 sheep. This time, this young decided that if I don't protect my herd from these wolves, he will not get any more help from his friend. From 100 to 50, 50 to 25. Now this time, if I'm not going to save them, I won't be able to get anything, and I'll be thrown out of here as well. So he studied his place completely. He understood the walls attacking areas. Then he added additional fences and guards all around. He then continued to monitor that places and talked to all the people and kept on learning the tricks of maintaining the herd. Now what he had done, he started working on to his skills. He started coming up with the different hats, which you have just said, Harshvardhan, he needs hats. He started working on different solutions. He started talking to that solutions. He started critically analyzing all the solutions. He started finding out the different options to be done to protect. Why? Because now he has to do something creative to protect the herds. Otherwise, he'll be out of this. Similarly, if we are into a business, if we are into any profession, if I'm not going to think creatively, I'll be out. If I'm in a job, I'll be out. If I'm in a business, I'll be out. If I'll keep on doing the same task which the others are also doing, even in fact, if I'll keep on doing the same task which I am doing since so many years, I can't grow. The growth will not be there. So what happened then afterwards? When he, find out all these things. After a few years, his herd has grown into 1,000 sheep. He started with 25. No wolves can attack. With so much joy, he meets his friend at the place and told what he achieved. And after hearing him, the friend king ordered his ministers to give him a whole state to rule over. He got his kingdom back. Then hearing this, he asked his friend, why you didn't give me the state to rule when I first came to you for help? And look at the wonderful answer that king has said, that it's a really true friend. First time when you came to me for help, your mindset was like you were born and bred to be a leader. But the truth was, you are far from it. You might have born in wealth, you might have born in pride, you might have born in power, but you have never been properly educated and trained to lead your people. And that's where I started with, just imagine you own your company. And if you really want that your employees should think in a creative way, you as a leader need to think creatively, and then the others will follow you. So when I gave you the herd, I was waiting for you to learn how to manage and lead others. Dear friend, now I believe you are ready to lead others. Why? Because you have started working onto your thought process. You have started coming and thinking about the things, the problems into a different way. You don't want the things to be resolved by the others. You want to resolve the things by yourself and become a leader to whom everybody can follow. Am I right? So what is the takeaway from here? Leaders need to think with creative mindset to lead well. And I believe that all of us would like to become a leader in our life. Somewhere in our thought process, it's there in our mind. I would like to become a leader of any one organization, any one association. So for that, you have to start working on your creative thinking, creative mindset as well. All right. I hope you've got my point. Yeah, Himanshu, you were saying something.
No. I was just saying, yeah, I definitely agree with you.
All right. So one of the takeaway with this session today, before ending up the session, is that, see, creativity is there in us. I have to realize that superpower. And it's not only realization of that superpower, which Kat and Loin I was able to show. With that, picture of horses, you have to tell the others that, dear, I am a superpower. You have to look at me, right? To go ahead. And then if you really want to, to be out of the whole of the people as a one, then you have to think creatively and wear all the hats onto yourself. So with this, I would like to end up the session over here, Himanshu. And I would like to stay connected with my audience, and I'm sharing my profiles over there and would like to get the connections from them.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely, ma'am.
any queries, anything?
Okay. First of all, ma'am, thank you so much. It was so engaging for me also. I mean, personally, I was so engaged in the webinar. I was answering, and as you have seen that I was answering, and I was getting all what you were trying to say. So thank you so much for coming in, for giving in your time, crediting your time here for me, for all the attendees. And last token of thanks for the way that you've explained. So thank you so much for that also.
Thank you.
Yes. And now, ma'am, I would just want to tell all the attendees that if they have missed any part of this webinar, so this will be uploaded on YouTube as well. And this will be there on the site as well, that is lpu.in. So you can just explore the site and watch this webinar whenever you want to, so that you can get maximum out of it. And ma'am, we've had like little queries from our attendees. So yeah, we actually got queries from registrants here. So can I?
Yeah, please. Would love to.
So, okay, I think this is again that you've talked about in the webinar also. So this query is, can you provide example of techniques or exercises that can stimulate creative thinking?
Yes, of course. As and when you are thinking to a creative way, stimulating the creativity should not be the solution, basically, because if you stimulate your creativity, you can't be more creative. But yes, in order to generate more and more creative thought process into yourself, just find out a gap. If you are not going to tap up a correct gap, correct niche area to come up with the creative solutions, then all the solutions will be like a copy pasted. Suppose if I say that I have to come up with a creative solution, I can come up with the creative solutions for such problems which is not needed. So that is not going to work. In order to get that creative solutions, just understand that you have to think about the main problem first. So wear a white hat first to reach to the blue hat in the last. Then you can stimulate it, right?
And ma'am, okay. Okay, so we got a question from Harsha. So how to succeed with those hats? Not all can hold all of them, I guess. How to get them all in my hands? Can you please let me know what to do? How to, in order to succeed in problem solving. I mean,
you can hold all the hats, but not together.
yeah.
And we all are going to hold all the hats, but we have to understand that which hat is going to work when. For example, if I say you are an owner of a company, correct? You can't say that all the hats will be in your side. Might be you are wearing a hat in which you'll be critically evaluating the thought process and then coming up with the solutions. And suppose if you're working in an organization, you might wear that hat in which you have to give a creative solutions to your higher authorities, correct? So we are going to have all the hats in our life, but we need to understand that where and when, which kind of hats going to affect.
Yes. And ma'am, I think this last question that came, and it was from Viraha Sharma. So this question was, what are the obstacles someone face while they are thinking creatively? And what are those obstacles?
Absolutely, very nice questions. When we don't want to unlearn and
Yeah.
when we don't want to relearn, we can't be creative. We can learn, trust me, we can learn even from a small child who's playing with a box.
Yeah.
And we can learn from a person who's a very older one. But it's us who has to understand we really want to learn. If we
Yeah.
are stuck and saying that, see, I know everything, the things goes wrong.
I think we need to get out of our comfort zone everywhere. Yeah, and that is where we see the growth, and that is where you can learn creative thinking as well.
Right.
So, yeah, I think, ma'am, we are done with the questions. Now, attendees, if you have any other question, okay, Harsha says, well said, ma'am, about unlearning that. What can push ourselves for every small amount? Harsha, I think I did not get the question. Could you please write it again, maybe a little more brief? What can push ourselves for every small amount? I think
It's us only. What can push ourselves from, from small amount of laziness is us only.
Yes. Yes.
As Himanshi has just said that we have to come out of a comfort zone. So those who are into a comfort zone, they will never come out of it.
Yeah, we learn different things, unlearn them. I mean, with the time, of course, I mean, everything is growing, so why not us? So that is, I think, the basic analogy that comes with the coming out of comfort zone, is that when everybody is growing, why not us? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So, ma'am, thank you so much
you.
for coming in and for giving this insightful presentation. No, seriously, it was very, very informative for me. And of course, for Harsha also. I mean, we three were having a lot of fun. Thanks for the session. Learned new things today. So Harsha says, and now, ma'am, I would like to just tell all attendees here about the site process. I mean, how they can take admission. So with your permission, can I show them up?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So just in a moment, I will be briefing about the site. So to all the admission related queries, I will be giving you a one-shot resolution as to how you can take an admission in any of the course. So this is the answer, that is lpu.in. So this will be the site. You click on that site on the browser. This will be the interface. Now this interface gives you all the highlights that might be happening, that might have happened or might happen in the near future, but of course all related to the university. So now coming back to the admissions, I'll be just in 1 minute telling you how you can go and search for the course that you want. So once you click on the admissions, there are a whole lot of programs that are very beautifully segregated. And you can see after 12th, after graduation, 10th, postural, doctorals, etc., etc. So I am taking an example of, let's say you are a 12th pass out student and wants to do an undergraduate program, regular program. So once you click on that, there will be multiple disciplines. You name any of the discipline, we have it here. So once you see the disciplines, you can see the discipline here. There are different disciplines, and I am taking an example of, let's say, management here. So once I click on the management, we have different programs offered under that particular discipline. So once I click on any of the program, this will be the interface that will be coming in front of you. And these are the options that will give you whole knowledge, whole information about a particular course. So program details gives you eligibility criteria, whether you are eligible for a particular course or not. This will be given by the program detail. Highlights give you all the rankings, placements, student achievements, what all students are achieving, how many package does our student get, in context of the course. You can get it from the highlight. Now is the curriculum part. So once I click on the curriculum, you can see all the topics you will be taught in your whatever term course. You will be known, okay, this is the topic that I'm going to be taught in this term. I think that would be helping you in making a disciplined decision as whether you want to go, as whether you want to proceed with a particular course or not. Now coming back to the, going forward to the fee part. So once I click on the fee, this will be our fee, that is 80,000 per semester. But again, we have several scholarships, so you need to just explore the scholarships here. And we have other scholarships as well. So, this is not the general fee that our students pay because they get a lot of scholarships. So you need to just check and explore the scholarship and apply in whichever you want to. Now going to the important date is 25th June is the last date of admission. So kindly take the admission, and how you can take is simply click on apply now option. And there are some bare minimum requirements that are asked from you. Once you click on submit, you'll be given your dashboard, and from that you can actually apply for the course or apply for the test, that is LPU test. So I hope that I've given you a brief as to what you need to know about a particular course, and in the same way you can search for any course that you want to. You need to have the discipline and the course, right? So if I could not address anything in the webinar, you can schedule a call. Okay, you can either WhatsApp us or have a live video counseling session as well. So, and now last but not the least are the numbers I'm going to show you. So you can just take a screenshot of it or maybe write it down somewhere. These are the numbers. You'll be calling on them, and our counselors, our esteemed counselors, will be here at this end to resolve your queries. So with this, I think I hope I've given you a little brief as to how you can go and apply for the test or the course. And now I would want to take our experts' permission to wrap this webinar up, ma'am. Can I?
Yeah, please, definitely. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming in. And thank you so much for giving your experience knowledge to us. And thank you so much to all the participants, of course, for coming in, for giving in your questions, to registrants also who had given your questions in here. So until next webinar, stay safe and stay healthy. And thank you so much for joining in.